why can't I move things with my mind? Or why can't I ignite something as soon as I look at it? Why can't I turn invisible? And why can't I fly or levitate at whim? Those are questions that I had when I was younger, and maybe even until this day I do. And I've realized the more I thought about it that I know that anything is possible, and I know that anything that we put our minds to is accomplishable. But why can't we turn invisible, or why can't we shoot flames out of our mouths? And a lot, like in Marvel movies, you know, like in superhero movies and stuff like that. And I've come to realize that it's simply not something that we as spirits even thought about up until now consciously, to put it in movies and fairy tales and stuff like that. Because I believe that we as spirits have to create environments together. So it's not just like, oh, I think, so let me just do this. It's a teamwork that we all have to create an environment before even creating a body to live in that environment. So we all create an environment that correlates and suits the ways that we think and the ways that we move as spirits. And in my opinion, we are not as evolved as other spirits that live in other dimensions and other places are. And we create an environment that corresponds to the way that we move and the way that we want to live. So the environment that we see right now is the environment that we all collectively created as spirits to then create bodies to live in and experience the environment that we all created together. And I think that's the main point of this video, is that we are not as evolved as we can be, right? We can infinitely evolve as spirits, but at this point in time, at this point in evolution, we as spirits just didn't even thought it was important, or we didn't even come to a conclusion of shooting fire out of our mouth, because it's not the most important thing for us right now in this stage of evolution for us as spirits. And each and every one of us as spirits, as unique individuals, are in different stages of evolution. But the environment that is created is kind of like a middle ground for everybody to be at. And if we were more evolved, believe me, we wouldn't even be here. Like, if we didn't fall for our lower animalistic desires, we wouldn't even be here. So in some case, we did fall into our animalistic desires when we were in the esoteric realm and our own spiritual journey. So we had to come here to maybe satiate or learn with our desires and to go back to whatever we want to be at. But where we at right now, this is not like the place for Marvel comics, supernatural powers or abilities as you see in movies. Obviously, we all have an ability to have extrasensory perceptions and abilities beyond the senses, abilities that are mind-related and related to the spirit, that are unseen, that are unobservable by our physical receptors, and that we are able to heal our body through our mind, that we are able to move and create certain things in our own ecosystem that we call our body. But the outer reality is teamwork in a bigger scale. Like, we still have teamwork inside of us. We have a whole universe and millions of cells working with us, and we have our organs and all of that stuff. It's still teamwork, but we as the main spirit are able to affect much greatly our own body than the outer world. So for us to be able to do things like become invisible and stuff like that, it involves the environment also giving that, facilitating that. So because we as spirits that created this environment to live in didn't even thought it was important to create an environment for those type of superpowers to exist, we just didn't create it. So it's not about that. This reality, this world is not about that. It's not about shooting fire out of your mouth. It's esoterically shooting fire out of your mouth, cussing somebody out, being angry, telling someone how it is. That's what shooting fire out of your mouth actually appears in this world. It's more esoteric rather than observable by the senses, because the senses that we have created were not made for that type of behavior. Maybe in the future that can happen, maybe it happened in the past, but at this moment it's not what we are focusing on, because if it was, it would be happening. We would see people walking on water, we would see people shooting fire out of their ass and out of their mouth, and just doing all of those what you observe in Marvel and other movies. So that is my main point, is that we didn't create it because it wasn't the focus. As spirits, we all as spirits together created this environment, created this mind and this place that we live on. And the bodies that we live in have their own unique capabilities, but it goes so far because we have an environment that keeps us in a certain way. So if you want to shoot fire out of your ass, you will have to create and help co-create another world with other spirits in another place where that will be possible, you know. So I hope this was interesting. This was just like a little thought that I had and I wanted to share with you, because it's something that we all thought about, you know. We all wanted to move the cup with our mind, and I remember I would like look at the cup for a lot of time and see if I can move it and things like that, you know. And that in itself is a whole nother video. Why can't we think, and the things that we think about will happen? That's a video that I've made maybe a year ago or a few months ago, so I will leave it in the description down below if you want to watch it. I wasn't as great at explaining things or going direct as I am right now, but I hope you enjoy it. Let me know in the comments what you think about this topic and what are your experiences and your thoughts about it. Let me know, and like and subscribe. Make sure to go to my IG page to see my art and the things that I create. If you want something for yourself, make sure to let me know, and I will see you all very soon. Thank you so much for watching. Bye bye.